Hey everybody, welcome to Kingdom of Honor. I am your host, Sandman Shane Sabunia, with my good buddy, the Honorable Jeff.
Hello.
And yes, hello, as Jeff said. And we are here to talk about some NJPW and some NXT. And it seems like forever we've been kind of talking about summer struggle shows now, Jeff. But finally, we get the big event this last Friday. Um,
You know what?
and, and
I'm
and
gonna
and
say it.
and honestly, I mean, I had like a lot of high expectations coming into this show, and I honestly, it might have just been my state of mind, but I honestly could not even stay awake during it.
So we've been pumping this summer struggle thing for a while, and I felt like the payoff was worth it. I was surprised and shocked at the title changes. I was saddened and happy at the title changes. The rest of the matches were entertaining. I think as much as, Kazuchika Okada brought up that whole KOPW 2020 whatever tournament, having Yano win it was the best choice.
What?
Simply because
I know these are new headphones. I didn't realize they were this defective though.
simply because do you really want to see Okada in these silly matches for the next year?
Yes, because I don't want to see him in the title picture.
No, I don't either. But I don't want to see him in silly joke matches. That's Yano's territory.
No, Yano. I was when the match was starting, I was like, oh come on, Bushi couldn't beat Yano because I didn't watch those
Right?
qualifying matches
No,
yet, so
I
I was
didn't
hoping
either.
so I was hoping that Yano had lost to Bushi, but no, it had to be goddamn Yano in there. I I don't know if I've pointed this out over the years, but I really can't stand Yano.
No, I hate him too with a passion. He drives me insane. I really wish I had known when he was considered a top-notch wrestler, but I didn't know him then. Comedy character now, and he drives me nuts.
And you know what's even worse is this thing that Kevin Kelly started doing where he like pretends he can't see the low blow that Yano does.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
it's
such
embarrassing.
it's terrible it's terrible awful comedy. It makes no sense, and it's like, why are you endorsing this guy who cheats every single time he wins a match?
And especially when he does against Okada. That's a whole different issue. When he does it against the heels, whatever. But when he does it against Okada, it's like, oh, what? Really? Come on, Kevin, you saw that.
And the other thing is like as much as big a fan as I am of Kevin Kelly, it really does detract from it detracts from his credibility as a commentator because if he's always down on Evil or Dangerous Techers for cheating, but he just ignores it when it's Yano.
Well, he ignores it because Yano is part of Chaos, and Chaos is face. And
But you get my point.
no, I do. I totally
Cheating
understand.
cheating is cheating whether it's by the
The
face
good
or the
guys are the
heel.
bad guys, yeah.
Yeah.
And I get that, and I agree with you 100%, but we've seen it before. I mean, when DX was uh, baby faces, everyone turned a blind eye to when they were doing horseshit stuff. Same thing with Hogan. I mean, Hogan was one of the biggest heel wrestlers during that 4-year run when he was the biggest face in WWF.
Yeah, but at least you had commentators like Jesse Ventura and Bobby Heenan calling him out on it.
The problem is, without Gino there is no heel announcer.
Yeah, that is a problem.
But I will say it was nice to hear Chris back. It was nice to hear Kevin Kelly do it live. I enjoyed the whole show. I was a little turned back by the amount of title changes and the fact that Lij had such a bad night.
Well, they left with a double gold.
Yeah, but up until then, we haven't gotten there yet. We're working. We're building suspense.
Well, obviously not because you said OJ had a bad night. So I mean, obviously we're. I mean, yeah, they did. I see where you're going with that. I mean, but Sonata wasn't involved in the decision.
No.
Bushi didn't even have a match, and those two guys were prominent in the double gold match. But yeah, the other two, two of the five did have a bad night for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, it's great Naito won it. I Okay, I'm gonna
No, it's
break.
not.
I'm gonna go
It's not.
back.
I wanted
Oh
Evil to
yeah,
keep that title to WrestleMania.
I did too, and I was gonna get there.
Okay.
I wanted to go back because I want to start with Shingo. I have been saying for what the last month, 2 months, that I don't want this to look like Shingo can only beat juniors. What happens the first time he's in against a heavyweight? A 52-year-old heavyweight? He lost. Huge, huge misstep. That hurt Shingo more than any other loss I've seen. Plain and simple.
It hurt him, especially considering the fact that Naito did leave with a double gold.
Right.
If Shingo loses the Never title only to be setting up to be the next challenger for Evil, it's actually a good move. But the two things combined, it really does hurt his credibility.
I
And
don't know. I
and I
did
and I
not
and I
like
and,
that
and I
at all.
and I don't think that. And regardless of that, I don't think that Minoru Suzuki is the right choice to be a champion in GPW in any way, shape, or form. When he, like you said, he's a 52-year-old man.
Right.
I mean, it's been over 2 years now since he lost that title to um to Goto in that amazing hair versus hair match. It's not
Which
something.
was the last. I mean, I absolutely love him. I think Naito or I'm sorry, Suzuki is one of the considering he's 52 and he still scares the fuck out of me is a huge thing. So I'm okay with him winning it. I just don't think he should have. I think Shingo should have won that match simply because all I wanted was to see Shingo shine against a heavyweight guy. He didn't.
No, he didn't. And I really, it's weird because I thought Shingo would hold that title until there was an opportunity for him to step up to another division, and really unless Naito's going to defend the title within the stable, because he did, they have said that Naito was planning on now defending these titles separately thank goodness. Um, so unless he's going to defend it against Shingo, there really is no opportunity for Shingo to step up at this point.
No, there isn't.
And he was doing great. He was doing great as an Everett champion too. I don't understand the need to take the title off of him at all.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I think that taking him off him at this point was a misstep. Simply because I've said it now for like a month. I do not want to see him only winning against juniors. I want to see him beat a couple heavyweights. And like I just said, the first heavyweight he encounters, he loses. It really undermined Shingo at that point. What that was my whole thought on it.
No, it did. But my larger point though is that I think he was doing a great job with that championship, and
Yes, he was.
he was red hot. There was no reason to take it off of him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Suzuki is just. I mean, Suzuki, as much as you may like him, is kind of an also ran at this point. Whereas Shingo is a guy that they could be building to bigger things. Suzuki's
Exactly.
not going to be moving on to bigger things. I mean, he's got two guys in his stable that could take over that stable from him any day. So I mean, for him to keep on winning
Two?
championships, well, I think either Taichi or Zack Sabre Jr. could do that.
You think Taichi could? That's who I was thinking too, but ultimately it's ZSJ.
I think so, but I mean, I guess the question there would be, do they want a Gaijin leading a stable that's not Bullet Club?
Yeah, good point.
That's just kind of how I'm looking at it. I mean, I prefer ZSJ for sure, but um, I don't know Suzuki as the never openweight champion. I just don't see
It's
where there's a path to anything good.
I don't see any good storylines. I don't see any. I
And
don't see him moving up. I don't see anything that comes out of him as never champion that is a good thing. Shingo is a never champion. Had he beat Suzuki, that would have cemented him as a badass, which he already is. I mean, we know that. But you take out Suzuki and you are the ultimate badass. He could have went on a tear with that belt that could have taken him through next year just off that win. And it would have been believable. Heavyweights, juniors, whatever, wouldn't have mattered. Wouldn't have been believable.
yeah, agreed. And I really don't see like who's going to be the next challenger for Suzuki. I mean, like somebody like Ishii or Goto. We've already seen that before.
Right.
And Suzuki, and also there's really no reason for Shingo to get a rematch. This was he got his ass kicked. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
there was nothing cheating by Suzuki. He just flat out beat Shingo.
And it was a clean win in the center of the mat.
Yeah, and that's really a weird way to go. I don't get it at all.
Especially against Suzuki.
Right.
There's so many ways to build this in a way that would make it make sense. He, could have been underhanded. He could have done, but to have a clean victory in the middle of the ring against Shingo, Shingo is, and I know the amount of people that I love in NJPW, but ultimately, when you look at Shingo and the way they've pushed him, to have him lose in the fashions he has does not make sense. How does a guy go undefeated for 2019 and then lose in the finals of the junior heavyweight title?
And then win like 3 matches in the G1.
Yeah, it does not make sense the way they book him.
No, it really doesn't. And then to have him, like I said, lose cleanly this badly to Minoru Suzuki for the Never Openweight
After
Championship after dominating the
dominating.
field.
Yeah, I mean,
And
he
and
dominated
and
Desperado. He dominated, um, who was he at before that?
and this is not a loss to like we've already mentioned a couple times. This is not a loss to a young up and coming guy they're trying to push. This is a loss to a 52-year-old guy who should be towards the end of his career.
Right. Yeah, I was disappointed. Very disappointed in that.
Yeah, me too.
The other match I was disappointed, yet still somewhat happy about, was Tanahashi losing to Ishimori.
Takahashi.
Takahashi, yeah.
You almost had it right, and then you changed it to the
Yeah,
wrong
I
one.
know. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, it was, and that was actually like kind of.
It was a hell of a
It
match.
was a
I'm
really
not
good
gonna
match. It was,
lie.
it was a really good match, but it was like one of those where Ishimori like took it from to him right from the beginning, and there were some flashes of offense back from Hiromu. He even hit the time bomb, but he just wasn't able to fully come back from that opening salvo by Ishimori.
Right.
And then he ended up having, and then he actually tapped out, didn't he? To lose the title? Yeah, he did. He tapped out.
Yep. Which to me was kind of odd because they made that huge story of him not tapping out to Okada and actually passing out. So to have him tap out to Ishimori,
Yeah,
it,
but at least he tapped out to a real submission hold.
no, I mean, well, yeah, I mean, we get that, but they're still trying to build that up as a real submission move,
They can
even
do.
though we
They
both
can
know
try that
it's
all.
not.
They can try that all they want to. It's gonna fail.
Yeah, it still sucks. I don't ever want to see the money clip again. Plain and simple.
Well, no,
Okada,
I mean, you're right. It's going to, it sucks. But my point is, it's gonna fail. It's not gonna be his long term finisher. There's no way. That there can't be people that are buying that move, right?
I can't believe anybody is. If they are,
Wait, what just happened?
oh, my TV just started playing shit. Sorry.
It's like we're in the middle. It's like you're in the middle of a YouTube clip and the ad started playing. Is what it was like.
Well, no, what it was a friend of mine tagged me in something, and I turned on YouTube on my TV, and it showed me the clip of what he did.
All right,
What he tagged me in. So
you're that bored with our conversation, huh?
no, come on, I love you, bro. I'm just saying, it,
It was a really good match. It wasn't the match I guess it wasn't the match I expected them to have,
no,
but it
no,
but
absolutely not.
still like a really nice showing for both guys and a great storytelling match, which you don't see in the juniors very often. Ishimori was dead on his
The funny thing is, you said you don't see these kind
in the juniors.
of. Well, yeah, well, no, and the fact that we saw this kind of storytelling was gonna happen when it was Taiji and Hiromu in the same match.
Yeah, I just
It
really wish they had kept going with this theme of Bullet Club holding the singles championships.
it it really was a good match. I felt like it was a great match. I was just and it's weird because I love Taiji, I love Hiromu. They're two of my favorite juniors. Period. But I was really disappointed in the outcome of the match, and maybe it was because Shingo lost too. It was almost kind of foreshadowing in a bad foreshadowing type of way.
I guess, but I mean, there's also I guess it's also like adding to the dread of Lij lost the double gold. Then now
Right.
they lost the never title. Now they lost the junior heavyweight title. And when things look their bleakest is when Bushi and Sonata fight off Togo and Gato, and then Naito's finally able to overcome and hit Destino to win the title from Evil.
But that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. It actually took a little bit of the drama away. Like, I'm not going to lie, I was surprised when Naito won simply because I don't think he should have. I seriously believe Evil should have won that match. But when Naito won it, I was happy, but at the same time, I was less surprised about it because I saw that win coming because Shingo lost, Hiromo lost to Bullet Club. There was too much build up to it that was so old school 80s wrestling that I was like, okay, Naito's gonna win this.
Hey Google, turn on the light. Interest.
Haha, Google didn't listen.
Interesting that you feel that way. I guess because I thought it was they were setting up for like like even bigger downfall for Lij, so that they're going to be an actual hero's journey to get a shot back at that championship. You know,
No, the second
hey
Hiromu lost
Google,
that belt, I was
don't
like,
turn on the light.
okay. The second he lost that belt, I was like, there's no way Lij goes out 3-0. Naito's gonna win. And that was just my thought process on the way booking normally works. And I love Gato booking. Gato is probably the best at the long game I've seen since Jesus, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the NWO. I haven't seen anybody being booked long game like Gato does since then. But this screamed Naito win.
Hmm.
So when he won, I was happy. I really was happy because I want to see Naito as one of those top pillars. But I wasn't surprised because of the way the booking went throughout the show. And I was disappointed because I really wanted to see Evil run with that belt for a while.
See, and I'm just like a weird cat that way because I look at this and I'm like, do we really need Naito or Okada or both in the Wrestle Kingdom main event yet again?
Nope. 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 Nope.
So I guess what I'm kind of looking at going, no, I wanted Evil to win because I wanted there to be a new story to tell at Wrestle Kingdom. And
And now we have
I still think we need, and I still think Sonata, the guy, his tag team partner who got betrayed for the first time, who got his ass kicked by him, is the
yep.
guy that should have got some comeuppance on Evil, and that's not going to happen now.
Well, and now we have the G1 kicking off.
Right.
So where do we go? What's the story? Who It's going to be who faces Naito. Is it going to be Okada off on his now that he's not the KOPW champ? Is he going to go on a run and face Naito at Wrestle Kingdom for a rematch? Is it going to be Evil that just runs through the field like he did with the New Japan Cup? It's There's not too many stories coming out of this that you can buy into because of the Naito win. Head Evil 1 is Hiromu, is Sonata, is Shingo going to make his run at the title? Is Naito going to be able to come back and get that three-peat? It was just, there were so many stories that could have happened out of the LIJ breakup. Well, Evil leaving LIJ.
Hmm.
That could have happened, and they didn't because Naito won the belt.
Right. And I do, I do like what Kelly said at the end of the show about it being, kind of like, triumph over evil, like, like we were hoping to all triumph over COVID and all that kind of stuff. And I liked it. I mean, I like that idea. I just think it was like way too early for Naito to win the title back, number one.
Yes.
And number two, I just felt like that roll call needs to happen at Wrestle Kingdom or Dominion, not at Summer Struggle.
Well, and the thing that really upset me about the whole thing was he called it. He was talking about how Naito said this is such a callback to back in 2016 when I won the belt. And I won the belt, and I used so and so Sonata to come in and help me out, and then I lost it in my first title defense.
Hmm.
That's exactly, or I beat Ishimori, and then I lost, or no, Ishii, and then I lost it in my second title defense.
Right.
It was a straight up callback to what happened here.
Yep.
It, I don't know. I'm disappointed because of it, to be honest.
No, I am too. I mean, as far as the G1 coming up, I think if I were a betting man, um,
Oh,
and
my money's on Shingo at this point.
really,
Well, no, not Shingo. Sorry, not Shingo. It had Evil 1, my money would have been on Shingo. Now, I have no clue. I don't know.
I was going to say that if they allow travel back into Japan, then my money's on Jay White,
Yes, you're right. Yes.
and then I think probably some kind of revenge for Okada against Evil in like a semi-main event type situation. So I mean, and so I mean that then Evil is still kind of like stayed up there in the upper echelon, and I have no idea what they're doing with anything else. Like I don't know where Tanahashi goes, I don't know where Ibushi goes, maybe against each other actually.
That
Maybe
would make sense, actually.
I mean maybe that rift breaks apart completely, or there's just had to have some kind of a respect match between the two against each other. But um, so what do you think of that match? Because I know that was one you weren't looking forward to coming in. Ibushi and Tanahashi, because you were like, well, we just saw it at Dominion. We saw them get destroyed. We saw them get their asses kicked. But that's not what this match was.
I felt like this match made Ibushi a superstar. And as much as I love ZSJ, it actually elevated him and Tai Chi at the same time. We know the ace is at the end of his career. We do. And whatever he does at this point is more to put over everybody else. And I seriously felt like he was able to put over everybody in this match except himself.
Yeah, he did. And this was, but this was like a totally different match than the one we saw last time around, where it was
Yeah, it
dominated.
was.
It was dominated by dangerous techers. This one, they got out by the skin of their teeth. I mean, it was Tanahashi missing the high fly flow. Zach, Tai Chi running in and picking him up, and then Zach seeing the opportunity to hit
Oh,
uh,
um
the
Zach whatever.
yeah, I can't remember the name of
I
it,
can't
but then
think of what they call it, but whatever Tai Chi's finishing move is with Zach in front of it.
right, and that was just brilliant. That was just brilliant.
I mean, even Tanahashi, considering he's at the twilight of his career, he is clearly broken down, not the guy that he used to be, but he's still showing that fight, that fire. Kota looked great because he took over the lead. And Taichi and ZSJ, and we know how great ZSJ is, but he looked great because of the way he was able to go, and the same thing with Taichi. I felt like it just was a win-win all the way around.
And for the first time in the feud that they've been having, the first time in their the first time since even before COVID, uh, Dangerous Hackers just walked away without releasing any more damage
Right?
on Golden Ace,
Right.
and that helped sell that moment too, where they're not, where they don't like look at the despair and then interrupt it and just beat them down. They're just gloating, knowing they got away with one, knowing they didn't dominate this one the way they planned to, but they still were able to win,
Right.
knowing that they broke the hearts of Tanahashi and Ibushi, and that was just enough for them this time around. They didn't need
Right.
to bring him down
Exactly.
physically anymore.
Like I said, after that match ended, ZSJ, the way he rolled out of the ring onto the floor and then laid there prone,
Hmm.
it was so not ZSJ. It was it was this holy shit. We just fought for our lives. So it sold everything Golden Ace did and made them look great because they were able to overcome those odds. And Kevin Kelly said it too a couple of times. This is the first time all year long that somebody has gone into a title defense and won it. There was a lot of great things
Or,
about
or,
that
or for the
match.
or for the tag titles, yeah, that is, isn't it?
Yep.
Wow, it really is. Yeah,
Because Finn Juice lost it to God. God lost it to Golden Ace. Golden Ace lost it to Dangerous Techers.
yeah, that's crazy. That
This
really is
was the
crazy.
this was the first title defense that was an actual win, and the way that they did it, and when they won the belts, they won it in such dominating fashion. But these were two guys who were IWGP Heavyweight Title holders or contenders in 2019. So you know that they're not going to just get their asses kicked, especially by a guy like Tai Chi, who is still struggling to be in that upper echelon. He's getting better. He has gotten better over the years, but he's still nowhere near that upper echelon. ZSJ, on the other hand, could be legitimate up there, but he's not been there. So to have this struggle win, I think, did more for Dangerous Techers than any other title defense could have been. And going into it, I didn't want to see another ass kicking. The fact
No,
that it wasn't made it so much better.
yeah, and these artists that we're talking about now, my emotions changed like four times in the course of from the time that they started doing the ring announcements to the time that the thing was over.
Yep.
I mean, when they were because when they were coming out, I was like, yeah, there's no chance that um, Golden Ace leaves her with the tag titles. But then they
After
had,
the ass kicking they
but
had at
right,
Dominion.
right, but they had so much emotion on their face. They were so pumped up. Tanahashi looked like the Tanahashi of old coming out, and I was like, "There's no way these guys can lose." And then the match got underway, and they got Dangerous Hecker's number like right off the bat. Hecker's tried to use their usual stink attack to take the advantage, and Golden Ace cut them off at the pass. And I was like, "Oh well, there's no now that Golden Ace has cut them off at the pass. Obviously, Dangerous Tekker is gonna fight back and find a way to win." And then when they didn't, when they were losing, and I saw Tanahashi go to the top rope, I'm like, wow, Golden is actually going to win the tag titles back. And then it was just snatched away
Right.
from us fans.
And
It
give
was
it up
it was
to
incredible. They really did a great job telling this story.
give it up to ZSJ because he sold, and I can't remember what that move is called when he does the crossbody off the top went to a standing opponent. It's like aces high or something like that.
Yep.
When he did that move, that is usually the prelude to the high five flow.
Right.
And ZSJ took that, sold it so much that I was sitting here going, "Holy shit, they're gonna win this back." And then when he rolled out and Tanahashi missed the high five flow, I was blown away. At that point, I was like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest match I've ever seen." And then we had God, I wish I could remember the name of it because it's um, probably the second coolest tag team finishing move I've ever seen.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
Right behind the whatever Hangman Page and Omega do.
Yeah, what they call theirs the last call, which I hate. I hate that name for that
Right,
match.
because it's not because Kenny's a milk drinker. It's not the last call for him.
Well, and it's also like there's already been like four other tag team finishers that were called the last call. You know,
True,
it
true,
just
very true.
it just wasn't that also James Storm's super kick finisher was the last call too?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, and James Storm and Bobby Roode, their finish was the last call.
Right. And I know that's also the name of Beer City Brew the what is it
Beer City Bruisers,
the brawlers or the bouncers. Yeah, the bouncers.
whatever they are.
That's their finishing move too.
It's the bound.
They
We haven't seen,
they use the glorifier, but they call it last call.
and we haven't seen ROH in so long that I forgive you. So
Yeah.
anyway,
The funny thing is, I almost got both guys' names in there. I almost got Beer City Bruiser and Brawler Malonis both in there when I was
right.
talking.
I still wish it was Brian Malonis because I love the fact that he was going by his real name. I know they changed it to what, Bruiser Malonis or
Brawler Malonis.
Brawler Malonis, but I love the fact that he was just Brian Malonis.
I know you did.
It was something so fresh because when was the last time you heard anybody called by just a real name that was outside of the big time main event?
Yeah, very true.
Anyway,
But yeah,
anything else on Summer Struggle? I mean, I thought this was a great card. I really, really did. I thought it was one of the best I've seen in a long time. I love the Japanese crowd and the fact that they're conforming to the pandemic and they're saving their clapping and cheering the way that they do. I loved the matches. I loved as much as I wish Naito would have lost and Evil would have won. I'm okay with the way that everything worked out for Naito. I just felt like this was a great card.
it was, and it clears the deck. It clears the decks for everything. Oh, it's a Zack Mephisto. I just realized it's a Black Mephisto.
Oh, that's what Zach
So
Mephisto.
it's a Zack Mephisto.
Yep.
The it clears it, but it clears the deck for everything else because now we're looking at this and we're going. There's really no double gold challenger setup. There's no never openweight title holder set up. There's no junior heavyweight title holder set up, and there's like nobody for the tag team titles either right now.
Well,
So I kind of look at all this and I'm like, it was a great card. I didn't like all the results, but at the same time, they really did clear the field for other people to step up now.
and Chris said it at the end. We're finally going to get the breakup of the two titles because he said what we were talking about back in Wrestle Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
That he brought up the fact that Naito wants to be the fightingest champion ever. He will defend each title separately.
Right. Even he said even if he has to defend it every title, both titles once a week, he's going to do
Right,
that.
exactly. So they brought that up, so now we're gonna finally get that break like we want. And maybe this opens the door for Sonata to be IC title holder.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that. I'd really like there to be like a space between the two. Like, I don't really want to see, especially after the break, especially after Evil leaving, at least until G1. I really don't want to see Lij face each other.
True.
But say that Naito loses the title to Despy, and then Despy loses it to Sonata, I'd be fine with that. Something some kind of something in that vein of things.
But in all reality, we haven't seen LIJ face each other yet. It was LIJ versus Bullet Club.
Yeah, but it still
Yeah,
felt
I
like
know. I
Lij
get
versus
it.
Lij.
But also, this is a way for Evil to still stay relevant. Because as much as as a fan, love to see Naito win, as a fan, I really wanted to see Evil win. And this is a way to get Evil back involved in the champion in at least one of the two title holder pictures.
Right, but the way they usually space things out, I would think there's somebody else that's gonna be before Evil, challenging, basically for one of the championships, which is good because I really don't want to see him lose either title on his very first defense in this vein. I think he needs to defend them each at least once before losing it again.
But if you think about it, who in NJPW is even up in that stratosphere with him right now? Okada and who else? Kota,
Well, I
Tanahashi.
was gonna say Kota, Tanahashi, Evil, um, the Dragon, I suppose. I don't think I would have said Suzuki, but Suzuki has the Never title now. So
So basically, there's three or four legitimate contenders for Naito. Two of them are in his faction.
yeah.
So it's like, where do we go?
No. There's also we also mentioned Tanahashi, Ibushi, Okada, and Evil. So
Right.
there's four guys right there.
But right now, Sonata and Shingo are the only two that we haven't seen over and over again.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have like Goto or Ishii step up too.
Probably. And Ishii would be deserving. He's never won the title, is he?
No, Goto's held it before, but Ishii has not.
Right. So seeing Ishii challenge might not be a bad thing.
No, it'd be great. It'd be a great thing. I was kind of hoping they'd have somebody come out there to step up as the challenger last night or this. I'm sorry, Friday night. But I suppose right now with the G1 coming up so quick, it probably doesn't make sense for that to happen
Right.
because the G1 starts September 19th,
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks from now.
and there aren't any big shows before that. So.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to the G1. I'm looking forward to see where they go. I felt like this was a great card. It was a great, I don't want to say a reset, but at the same time, there are so many titles that changed hands that it's hard for me not to say reset.
I really wanted to believe in Kawato, in Master Wato, but boy was he missing stuff on in that opening match against Kanamura.
He's a rookie going against a guy that's like what, a 20-year vet. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, but you think the Chun Li vet would have tamed him and helped him calm down a little bit and got him over that hump, and it just did not happen in this match.
No, it didn't. It really didn't.
So I was kind of sad about that as well. I shouldn't say as well, but I was kind of sad about that because I have a lot of high hopes for Master Wato. and this
And
was not a good showing for him.
he has a lot of skills. He was protected in a way with the finish, the way that it happened. But you're right. I mean, as far as a wrestling fan goes and someone who pays attention, he did not have a good showing. But ultimately, I felt like he did just enough to move up the card the way a guy who just literally showed up on our screens 3 months ago needed to do.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I guess I was hoping for a better showing for him against a guy like Hanamura,
Oh no, fair enough.
and it
Fair
just
enough.
wasn't there. And like you said, the finish protected him, but the finish was also a bit of a fuck up too.
Oh
So,
yeah. Yes, it was.
but Chris Charlton did a nice job covering it for him as well. You know,
Yeah,
we've seen that by Kevin Kelly and Chris Charlton before that they're able to quickly adapt on the fly and cover up for errors by the wrestlers.
Chris Charlton is a very, very underrated announcer. He really is. Because he is so quick on stuff like that that you look at a guy like Kevin Kelly, and Kevin Kelly is great. Kevin Kelly might be my favorite play by play guy. But you look at a guy like Chris Charlton, and if you go back, let's go back to Dominion last year, and you listen to some of the calls that Charlton made, he really does protect the business, not just the wrestlers, not just whatever's being told in the ring. He protects the business because he is able to spot something like this, in the Master Wato match that was like, okay, that shouldn't happen. Let's do this. Let's say this. Let's say this to make it better. He is really, really good at that. It's sad that nobody really, because he's kind of like the third guy. Oh, he's the interpreter. But if you listen to him and go back, I swear to you, I've heard it multiple times before. You go back to Dominion last year, and he has had multiple moments where he has just taken a spot and twisted it just a little through his commentary to make it go, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, absolutely true. Absolutely a fact. Um, yeah, so I guess that's probably the last I had on Summer Struggle. Other than like I totally disagree with you about Yano being the right guy to win that
I
match.
just because of the crazy stipulations and all that crap. No, I don't think Yano should ever win a title or tournament, but with the stipulations that are set forth, I think that's not a spot where I want Okada. It's a spot where I want Yano because Yano is going to come up with the crazy, fun loving. To me, whatever this NJPW or KOPW Cup is, kind of reminds me more of the hardcore title in WWF, WWE. Does it make sense?
It does. Um,
It's a comedy. It's a
but I
comedy title.
but I really didn't even, like I said, I didn't even think that Yano should have been in this match at all.
No,
And
no, I agree.
there was, if you didn't want Okada winning it, there was three other choices that could have done it. It didn't have to be Yano. It could have been Desperado, and it could have been Sonata.
But I think Sonata or Okada made this a legit championship. Yano makes it the comedy championship that they're going for.
Well, it also makes me not want to watch any of the matches.
No, I don't. I don't give a shit about any of them either.
Okay.
Unless there's a return elevator match against Takahashi. No, I don't care.
I'm a little bit sad you didn't watch Takeover. I got to be honest with you.
I saw the first match.
I'm sorry.
They're just.
That first match was so boring.
I have been so, and we're gonna lean into this now because I have been so angry at Mauro Ranallo that I cannot watch that show. Period.
But
But
he
hey,
wasn't even the announcer on Takeover.
I didn't know that.
You could have asked.
I didn't know that. until
you didn't know
2 days
you
ago
didn't know you could have
when
asked.
I didn't know until Sunday when he announced his departure from WWF or sorry. And I'm over here dancing because I can start watching NXT again. Whoop, whoop. That hurt. Sorry.
You know, you and I both had such high hopes for Mauro Ranallo too when it first started off, but it just
Right.
as the months and years went by, he just got way too over the top for you and I to be able to deal with. And his alliteration things that he just would just come up with, and um,
And the multiple Mamma Mias throughout the matches and the making himself the story when there was a real story happening in the ring and the I could go on for days.
I don't think he was trying to make himself the story, but I
No,
do
I just think he
but
did
I do
out
think
of
his alliterative call signs got way too over the top and way too old, and he treated it like it was the most important thing on the planet when it's just NXT.
he treated every moment like it was the greatest wrestling event that ever happened.
And if it was, then that means anything else can't be great, really. I mean, you got to pick your spots.
He was going after his Joe Buck 61 call on Mark McGuire in 1998. Everything he called, he was trying to make it the call that would stand forever.
62.
Yeah. And by the way, I hate Joe Buck. I
God,
think Joe I think Joe Buck is one of the worst announcers in the history of ever. But ultimately, he called the 62 home run better than anyone else did. He will go down in history. It'll be his call. And I just think Mauro Ranallo was going for that moment in every match and every moment of every card, even if it was a weekly NXT.
yeah, he was. And it just got really over the top for me, and
And
really annoying and hard to listen to.
yeah,
And honestly, for me, I know not the same for you because your dislike of the product started like months after mine, but honestly, like his coincided with the to me the dropping quality in the NXT as well at the same time. Here it is. An announcer is um first of all, well, let me go back. Like I was really sad that he wasn't announcing the takeover that I was at, so I couldn't go back and watch and listen to him call the matches that I was watching. But as the months went on, he got worse. He got more over the top. The wrestling got worse, and so here it is, like this guy that I used to respect so much, and you and I had even talked about how we thought the perfect dream team announce team for NXT was going to be him and Corey Graves,
yep,
and as things got as the talent got worse, his over the top calling got worse as well. So he was saying that these things that I was watching and not even enjoying at all were the greatest things ever. And
right.
that just made it such a cognitive dissonance for me that I just had such a hard time following it.
Well, and I really felt like he influenced Natalia, or not,
Beth
it's
Phoenix.
Beth Phoenix, yeah, where he influenced Beth Phoenix to scream the same things. It's the greatest thing ever. I really feel like Beth Phoenix, now that he is gone, I don't know who the lead announcer is going to be. I hope it's Nigel, because to be honest, I think Nigel is going to be good at it. But if it is him, Beth Phoenix is going to make for a great color person, because I think she got too caught up in the Mauro Ranallo style of broadcasting.
Well, I don't think it either. Beth and Nigel are both really color guys, so I don't know. Um, I really don't know who's going to be the. I mean, Wade Barrett apparently is filling in as well now, so that's going to be interesting as well. Who's the guy that does the UK show with Nitro?
Shit, I don't know.
Because I think because he was the guy that was on Takeover this time around, and I thought he Um, and I thought he did a great job, and I think he does a great job every
I
time
think
he's
it's
out there.
Tom Phillips.
No, Tom Phillips is the SmackDown guy, right?
I When's the last time I watched any of this? Seriously.
Well, you told me that you watch AJ Styles matches still.
Yeah, but I don't listen to the announcers.
How do you not listen to the announcers when you're watching it?
Sound control.
What the hell does that mean? Sound control.
It means I turn the sound down and just watch the match.
Oh, Vic Joseph.
Is that who it is? Okay.
Yeah, and I think Vic is really good. But he might end up with um, Michael Cole syndrome, where he's really good right now, but once some people start talking in his ear, he's awful. So
Yeah, but Michael Cole was never that great. I mean, he
bullshit.
would with him and Taz, they made a great team. But I'm not so sure that he was great on his own.
He was
Was he?
absolutely. It wasn't. It
Okay.
wasn't until he started getting produced to be the shill that he's become that he
You
wasn't
know,
good.
I can't
Go
wait
go go
until
back go back and listen to his commentary on the very first ever NXT UK show where they were crowning the champion, and he didn't have somebody producing him, and he was actually able to be himself. He and Nigel are great together there.
I can't wait until we can go back and we start our other shows again after the hell season we're about both entering, so that we can actually look at some of those shows and review them. Some of the early SmackDown before Taz, when Michael Cole was actually considered good.
Yeah. One of my favorite pay-per-views of all time has Michael Cole as a commentator on it, and that is back before he became, you know, Coleslaw, and
Coleslaw.
that's Vengeance 2003.
Fair enough. That was a good one.
Um, anyway, so Ranallo's gone. Um,
Woohoo!
Wade Barrett is supposedly back in, and
Woohoo! Wait,
tonight they're crowning a new NXT champion in, as far as I'm aware, the second ever across all wrestling promotions
wait.
four-way your Iron Man title match.
Tonight?
Yeah, tonight. Today's Tuesday.
Special NXT?
Special NXT because of the NHL or NBA playoffs or something is
It'd have to be
usurping it on
NHL on
Wednesday.
USA because AEW has been whatever because of NBA. So, and USA is a CBS Disney product, so probably more than likely NHL.
Okay, I don't care. My point is when it's supposed to be tomorrow night is NXT. It's on tonight, and it's the longest reigning champion of all time, Adam Cole. I guess one of the only two-time champions in Finn Balor against Johnny Gargano and Tommaso
Tommaso
Ciampa
Ciampa.
in a four-way 60-minute Iron Man match
Did you?
to determine who the champion is.
I never saw the last Ciampa versus Gargano match.
Don't ever.
Okay, all right, I won't. I thought you might have said it was this last pay-per-view
Uh, no,
takeover.
it was quite a ways. But it was like WrestleMania weekend or the weekend after. Or so. No,
Okay.
no. It was supposed to be WrestleMania weekend, but it was on a takeover after that because they didn't actually have a takeover WrestleMania weekend this year.
Well, I'll never watch it because nothing could compare to the triple match quality that they had before. Nothing, ever. No comparison.
No, and the final beat I hated. So
Really?
that the final beat was my last straw for NXT before I watched Takeover this weekend.
And
that was what 5 months ago.
you were back in on NXT after this, huh?
not really back in on it, but I mentioned, but I wanted to see, but I thought we said we were gonna watch it and talk about it, so I did,
Yeah, and
and and
I ended
I
up having my kid longer than I thought I would, so that's my bad.
and I'm just intrigued by this four-way Iron Man match. So, but I was, I was, and Killer Cross or Karrion Cross as he's called in NXT, against Keith Lee was a very very good match. It's just too bad that Cross hurt his bicep, or no, I'm sorry, his separated his shoulder in the match.
I heard it was, but when I looked at the rest of the card, there was nothing that made me need to watch it. Like, I was so pissed off that, and I loved Keith Lee 2 years ago. I loved his matches with Dijakovic. I just felt like he was the wrong guy to beat Adam Cole. So I didn't watch that. And now seeing him as the champ, I didn't care who was against him. I didn't want to watch it. Plus, there was the Mauro Ranallo shit.
So let's analyze what you just said for a second here. He was the wrong guy to beat Adam Cole.
I felt like, yeah.
Who was the right guy to beat Adam Cole?
To be honest, there was no one.
Well, see and that's the thing is like if there's nobody to do it, somebody's got to do it, right?
Well, the way they were building Karrion Kross, he could have been. But with the heel versus heel faction and the fact that WWE will never pull that, it was never going to happen. But Karrion Kross was such an upstart and pushed so much that I felt like he was the guy. Otherwise, other than Keith Lee, Dijakovic would have been a good spot. Yeah, that's it.
Adam Cole is not a heel. He might wrestle like a heel. He might
They
cheat.
try to.
He might have an
portray
attitude.
him as one.
No, because a heel doesn't go Adam Cole, baby.
No, and I get that. And it's the same thing with our Cody argument.
And the crowd is always behind Adam Cole and
But ultimately, Adam Cole is projected as a heel, and they do not do heel versus face or heel versus heel matches ever.
But and that's why I think like maybe it had to be Keith Lee because Keith Lee is like the one guy that I think is so over that he was going to get cheered against Adam. Nobody else would have been.
I think, yeah, you're right. You're right. With Gargano being now the face, Ciampa failing at his 2 shots.
Gargano's a face again now?
No, I'm sorry, heel.
Okay.
Now that Gargano's a heel, and Ciampa failed at his, his shots at the title, I think Keith Lee is the only guy that could have done it. And I'm going to agree with you there. But ultimately, I did not want to see Keith Lee as the champ. I don't know why. I think he's immensely talented, immensely popular. He was just never a world title holder in my eyes.
This will sound really petty, but there's a 4-word phrase why I didn't want Keith Lee to be the NXT champion.
What is it?
He's not Shane Taylor.
Good point. It's a good point. I mean, if you think about it, Shane Taylor as NXT champion would have been amazing, but he never would have been there because he's a natural heel. I'll give it to Keith Lee. He has an amazing moveset. He is really, really spry as a big guy, and the charisma on this guy is off the charts.
Pretty spry for a big guy.
But ultimately, I have never bought into Keith Lee as that ultimate, oh my God, he has to be champion guy. Like I did with Adam Cole, Gargano, Ciampa, Karrion Kross, even Dominic Dijakovic.
Well,
Dijakovic had that it factor where he should have at some point been champ.
I think if you're not on the Keith Lee's world champion boat, you're really gonna be missing a boat because that's where WWE is taking him to.
Yeah, I hate that.
There's no question he's gonna be a WWE champion multiple times.
Especially the way he decimated Randy Orton this weekend.
Yeah, good. Fuck Randy Orton.
I like Randy Orton.
I know, but we talked about that last week.
Yeah, I know. Randy Orton's an old school guy for me. I will always love Randy Orton.
Yeah, he's been around too long. Next.
You're not gonna lie. I'm not gonna disagree with you. It's time for Randy Orton to pasture off, but I don't even think he's 40 yet.
Doesn't matter. It's not how it's not the years, it's the mileage.
But that's the funny.
It's the mileage on my eyes.
That's the funny thing. You look at a guy like Ric Flair. He was relevant well into his 40s. Hogan, same thing. And then Randy Orton is burned out by the time he's 35.
Yeah, but I was tired of Ric Flair in 1993. So, you know.
Fair enough.
I mean, I realized he had a great. I realized he had a long career in, world titles after that, and he was part of Evolution after that. But
look at AJ. Look at AJ Styles, Jericho. These are still guys in their early. I mean, Jericho's what, pushing 48, 49 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's still relevant.
Right, but AJ and Jericho have bounced around among other promotions. That's the thing, is Randy Orton has always been in WWE, and he's always and for the last 12 years he's always been main event or right near the main event.
That's a good point. Very good point.
Whereas Jericho and AJ Styles not only have moved around to other promotions, but have bounced between the mid card and the top of the card.
And Hogan,
and tag teams.
even though Hogan was always a main eventer, he went to other promotions.
Right.
All right, I get that. I can get behind that.
I'm a bit surprised that you didn't want to see Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai.
No,
I am surprised.
After Io Shirai turned full face heel, I've been off her bandwagon. Now, Dakota Kai, I think, is
I don't
phenomenal.
know if she's full faced. She didn't come as a full face baby face to me. When I was watching Takeover, I mean, it's
no.
She might be a face, but I mean, I think she's more like she's still got that attitude that she had as a heel.
Well, she was, and see, that's the thing. The last thing I really remember of her was her going ape shit on Shayna Baszler.
Okay.
So I'm looking at her more as a heel than a face. And Dakota Kai I love Dakota Kai, but I don't see her in that mold yet. And maybe it's because I'm not watching NXT and I haven't for a while. That could be why I'm not. But ultimately, I don't see her in that mold yet.
The title mold?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she lost, so she's not.
Fair enough.
It was a really good match, though.
I'm going to have to go back and watch Takeover. I might tonight. I might at least start it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, the thing I kind of wanted to talk about from there, you haven't seen, so you really can't comment on, but was the performance of, help me with his name again, Pat McAfee? Is that his name?
Yeah, and I've heard a lot about him. His stuff with Seth Rollins, I've heard was good. His stuff with
Seth Rollins?
His stuff with Adam Cole has been good. Yeah, they had a couple of one-off like verbal exchanges.
Oh, okay.
And then he's gone really big with with Adam Cole. Pat McAfee is one of those guys that I've always respected because he's a former NFL player, granted a punter, but whatever. He still played in the NFL for a number of years. And his sports takes, I've listened to his shows. As a sports fan, I love listening to him. Seeing him in the ring against Adam Cole was fascinating. And I've seen the clips. I haven't seen the match. I've seen the clips.
Watching the match, you might get a different take on it, but you know the I because I can imagine what the clips would have been, and he is an amazing natural heel, no question. But
Yes.
the problem was that this was that they, and I'm sure it was, because they had him in, and it's NXT, so they want to have longer matches, and they probably wanted to use him to the best of their ability, best of his ability, but the match was too long, and the match was too long because he's not a wrestler, and so he's out there trying to have this heel attitude, and eventually just kind of come across as cheesy and overblown and over the top. Um, if the match had been shorter, like maybe it had been 10 minutes instead of, I'm guessing 18 to 20, um, I think it would have been a much better. And you still could have had the same spots where he showcased his amazing athletic ability in. But I really felt like it was too long for this guy who's just finding his character. That said, I I would have no problem with Pat McAfee being a permanent member of the roster, or showing up for these, like, 4 times a year or whatever, to have these big matches.
So he reminds you a lot of Steven, tells his name from Arrow.
Stephen Amell,
Yeah, I was thinking Adele, but
I guess.
he was kind of the same guy. He amazingly athletic, really good in the ring, but was not so good. You want to see him every week or even every month, but a few times a year would be great.
Well, do you think? I mean, McAfee, I think if he wanted to be a pro wrestler full time, could do it. But I guess that's the question: like, would he really even want to have that grind? Um,
Probably not.
and so therefore, like him showing up, a few times a year in big spots, like, and being one of those guys that they call upon, that's a part time wrestler. Since they're, they're never going to get away from doing that. So if
Right.
they're going to do it, they might as well have something that's going to be entertaining and athletic. And McAfee, I'm sure one of the spots you saw on YouTube was Cole pushing him off the ring and him like flipping, landing on his feet.
Yep.
That was amazing.
Yep.
Um,
And the moonsault that he did,
yeah,
you know,
moonsault to the outside.
yep.
Yeah,
Oh, over everybody,
right.
which is the normal um, spot that you get in wrestling now. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and he got his comeuppance a little bit, and I did like the fact that Cole did not need the last shot to beat him. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just that um, I felt like it was just booked to be too long. So
Fair enough.
16 minutes and 12 seconds. It probably should have been about 10. So
And that's fine. I mean, NXT is trying to go more towards the AEW and NJPW with longer matches, which is great. I mean, we love that for it. Problem is, American wrestling fans don't love that, and we end up with shitty spots. But I'm not mad at a 16-minute match by Cole and McAfee. I'm just
well,
not.
you have to watch it.
I will. I
It's long. It's not all 16-minute matches are created equally. So
you've said it a few times, so I will watch this show for next week. And I may or may not have a take depending on what else is going on. Oh, wait, what is going on
what's going on?
this coming weekend?
All Out.
And do we know anything about it?
It's a wrestling card.
We got
But
MJF and Mox.
the other thing I wanted to say though about Takeover before we get off the topic, and I forget to
Okay.
say it, is, do we really need any more multi-man ladder matches?
No.
I mean, that match, it wasn't terrible, but there were so many things that I just felt like it was just there, just to be there. But I'm thrilled with who won. I'm absolutely thrilled that Damian Priest is the new North American champion. So
Nothing will ever top the multi-man ladder match they had for the tag team titles a couple of years ago. I can't think who is in it.
Well, the first ever North American title match for the second 7-man ladder match was fantastic as well.
Yeah, it was. But as much as I love that and EC3 and his spots and whatever, that tag team title match was still much better.
All right, here's the card for All Out. Are you ready?
Yep, I got it right here too. So,
No, I'm reading it off to you. So,
all right.
John Moxley defending the AW Championship against.
Okay, I got Darby Allin, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Pentagon Jr., Phoenix, Butcher, Blade, and Eddie Kingston against to be announced.
Go Eddie.
I'm not. What?
Go Eddie.
I'm not mad at that, to be honest.
I am.
Really not. No, I mean,
I am
you've got.
because let's throw all the tag team already in the tag team title match in this thing and have them all wrestle for a chance at the AEW World Title. What sense does that make?
The only tag team is Butcher and Blade and Junior and Phoenix. And we want to see Junior and Phoenix go on their own way anyway. And Eddie, Archer, Cage, and Darby Allin, Ricky Starks is the only guy that I'm not kind of buying into there. But the rest of these guys, without Butcher and Blade and Ricky Starks, I mean, you got Allin, Archer, Cage, Phoenix, and Pentagon Jr., and then Eddie Kingston. I'm kind of buying into that, to be honest. Just saying.
All right, fair enough. Why isn't Cage defending his FTW championship?
Because it's a fake championship. It stands for fake the fucking whatever.
All right, fine.
I'm just saying.
The Dark Order versus Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares.
Okay, and by the way,
Who'd you
if
tell me,
anyone's...
who'd you tell me Matt Cardona was again?
That's that Zack Ryder guy.
Okay.
Anyway, if you're watching Being the Elite and you do not think of Dark Order as comedy characters at this point, okay, so why is Cardona there and not Frankie Kazarian? Where's Christopher Daniels? This whole net, no, bad.
Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara in a Broken Rules match. And
we knew that was coming.
And then apparently there's going to be a match on September 2nd, Dynamite between. There's like a mini tournament, so it's Private Party and SoCal Uncensored versus Jurassic Express and the Young Bucks in some way, shape, or form. So.
Okay, so we know Scorpio Sky is not going to be a part of that. So if he's in this mini tournament, already we know that that team's not going to win. What the fuck is happening with AEW? They were going to change the world.
Well, they changed the channel.
Good point.
Yeah, it's got to be Frankie and Christopher Daniels in that match, right?
Has to be. But if you're watching this match and you see Scorpio Sky come out, because he's already announced in a match, you know they're not going to win.
But didn't they say a few weeks back that from now on, Scorpio Sky is going to focus on singles and Daniels and Kazarian going to focus on tag team?
Okay, I'm okay with that. I have no clue, by the way, because I haven't watched. I've kind of checked out. I'm treating them like AJ Styles, where if I hear a great match, I'll watch it. If I don't, I won't.
Yeah, I don't understand the whole point of the this mini tournament, but whatever.
So we got that to look forward to tomorrow night.
No. Oh, that match, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we look forward to it.
I might watch it.
I'll probably be playing Mario Odyssey.
I'll probably be playing Call of Duty. So yeah, there's that.
Those are way different.
Oh, but Call of Duty, yay,
No, boo,
yay,
boo.
yay.
It's just dumb. You like get killed, you pop up, you killed again. It's fucking ridiculous.
And then you kill two people, and then you die and get killed again, and then it's great.
No, it's boring. So.
But there's like guns and stuff. It's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, we're never gonna agree on that.
We never will. Hey, we got to have a couple differences because we agree on everything fucking wrestling. So there's that.
What else we want to cover this week? Anything?
Nothing I can think of. No.
Okay. I just want to say that my heart does go out to Karrion Kross
Yes.
because goddamn, I mean,
Absolutely.
he's such a nice guy, like I mentioned last week, and he had that big argument with Impact where it took him months and months to get out of his contract. He's able to sign with NXT. He has 7 matches there, wins the title, and then the match he wins the title, he's out for probably a few months with a separated shoulder.
Well, I've heard some great things about him and WWF management. I mean, you know, because you've met him personally. I've talked to him on Twitter here and there. The man is amazing. He is so humble. He is so just passionate for what he does. And the article I read is talking about him as being one of the best people to do business with they've ever dealt with. So when he comes back, he'll get his spot back. No questions.
Yeah, well, the article I read said he'll either get a spot back or he'll get moved to one of the main shows right away. Too.
Yep. So. Right. I read that one too. So, but regardless, they are really high on Karrion Kross, and he deserves it. He deserves it. He's a legit nice guy.
He really is. And I'm glad he brought his girlfriend along with him, to ride his coattails because I would do the same thing. I would do the same thing if I were him.
Yeah, if that was my girlfriend, I would too.
Yeah, I mean Scarlett's also very nice, and she's great looking, but she's not very much in the talent department. So.
I don't know much about that. Not going to comment. She's just really hot, and she plays her role well.
No, yeah, I mean, no, I really did enjoy her as the Smoke Show in Impact. I'm just not really sold on her abilities, let's say, other than her looks. So.
Nope,
sorry, Scarlett. Sorry, Scarlett. Sorry, Karrion. I like both you guys. You know it, but I just got to call it as I see it. So.
The one thing I am disappointed on is we planned for a year to be in Chicago this weekend.
Yeah, didn't happen.
And because of the world wrecking around us, we couldn't be there.
No, we could not.
Makes me sad.
And the funny thing is, like, if we were going to be there, we'd probably be like all in on this all out show. And now, we're not going to be there, so we're kind of like, thumbs in the middle.
I'll watch it. We'll have a take next week. But man,
I will find a way to watch it without spending $40 on it this time around.
I'm kind of there too. Just saying.
Okay.
And we were going to spend thousands of dollars to be there live.
I know.
Fucking coronavirus.
Yes. I was going to be an insane maniac and go to Chicago 2 weekends in a row, and it just did not work.
Well, I mean, we also talked about the NJPW show too.
Yes.
As a fallback, but fucking coronavirus. I didn't get one vacation I planned for this year. I was going to San Diego. I was going to either Chicago or New York. One of the two. I got nothing except my living room.
And I was going to Chicago 2 or 3 times, or maybe Chicago twice and New York once, and I didn't get any of that either. So.
And speaking of my living room, I need to fold laundry.
Well, I'll let you do that.
Just saying. Anyway,
Stay tuned to all
next
the.
year, next year we got to do this trip.
Yeah, I'll plan on 2022. I still don't think the world's gonna be back to normal in 2021. So
Fair enough.
I'm just being a
Fair
realist.
enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I get it. All right. You got anything else?
I don't. Did you already hit our social media stuff?
No. Why would I? Oh, wait. That's my job. All right, everyone.
I don't know any of it. So
If you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe. We appreciate that. Keep up to date on everything we do online on YouTube. And once the next couple of months, starting hopefully around Christmas time, and I hate to say it's going to take that long. Hopefully it won't, but that's probably likely. Around Christmas time, we're going to start up on our Patreon channel and our second YouTube channel doing Doom Patrol, which I have been really missing. Really, really missing. Anyway, youtube.com/Kingdom of Honor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You won't miss a single thing that comes out. Also, our Patreon, which is where we put everything. Archives, exclusive shows, YouTube exclusives, everything goes on patreon.com/Kingdom of Honor. And then our Twitters. I am at RegiCoop. He is at ZanmanLOP. We use hashtag KOH for everything. That's the easiest way to find us.
So if we're going to do a show around Christmas time, are we going to start it off with Jean Jones' favorite song of all time?
Oh my God, I hope so.
How
Because if you're not caught up by Christmas time, I'm gonna blow my shit. Like seriously, all I want to do is talk about these shows. Because I'm about a season and a half ahead of you on these. And all I want to do is talk about whatever you message me and say, hey, this guy, like you messaged me today about Irma. Is it
Imra.
Irma?
Imra.
Imra. You messaged me about her, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? Oh, wait, that was like a year ago.
It's Saturn Girl, yeah, Minell's
You're
wife.
right, right,
So,
right, right. It took me a second because I'm a year ahead of you.
I just think it's amazing that Jean Jones' favorite song is Hall & Oates' version of Jingle Bell Rock.
Yep. Yeah, that was okay. You're at that episode now,
Yeah,
so
yeah. So,
at least I can talk up to that episode. Get caught up so we can have a real conversation about it because it's from where you are, it gets amazing.
yeah, I resisted watching Supergirl for so long because I was so mad about those two characters leaving, and this season 3 has just been amazing so far.
Have you gotten Brainy yet?
I'm on the second episode with Brady right now.
Oh my God, Brainy is the greatest character. He is my
Spirit animal.
Bob. He's my Bobby from Supernatural. He's my Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. He is the part that makes it. Like Win used to be, but now it's Brainy.
Yeah, speaking of which, the episode that I just watched today, or one of the episodes I just watched today, I should say. I think I watched 2 episodes today. Um, he was explaining to Win what turbulence was, and Win's like, I know what turbulence is.
Wait until the next season when he starts training his new protege.
Okay.
He is, and like you had mentioned, you saw him in that Elseworld,
Right.
and you fell in love with the guy.
In Crisis on
Like,
Infinite Earths, yeah.
yeah, no, you didn't see him in the season 4 crossover.
Maybe I did. Maybe that's what I'm talking. Maybe that's
The
when I saw him in.
the lead up to Crisis.
Maybe I don't remember.
Okay, because I thought you said you did, and his performance in that was amazing. He's like, "Ooh, a new superhero. I'm intrigued," and just went off to battle the guy. It was one of the best things I've ever seen. It's Brainy is easily one of my favorite characters in all the shows right now. Oh, that and Ralph from Flash.
I just kind of been amazed at like the progression of characters they've developed already this season on this show. you've got I can't think of his name right. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but the Nathan from Heroes, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
you've got Sam and her daughter Ruby.
Yep.
You've got and of course she becomes
Brainy.
you got Brainy, and then you got Manel's return and his wife. It's just
Yep.
crazy. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah, and
So and Sai. So
I can't wait until you get through this season because there's some things that I really want to talk about, especially Psy and Adrian. Fuck's his name from
Pastar,
Heroes.
Adrian Pastar.
Adrian Pasdar's character. There are some things we need to talk about, and I cannot wait until you're done with this season so we can.
All right.
I'm trying so hard not to give you spoilers. There are so many things coming up, but
I
you
should
got
finish.
to catch
I
up.
should finish it by the end of the month.
Oh my God. It's September 1st. I cannot wait 30 days.
Yes, you can.
No. I'll be done with this and I'll be on Supernatural and I won't care by that point.
Well, I can't watch it as fast as you do. So
Well,
I've also got my poker shows to watch. You got to remember that.
yeah, that's true. I'm just all in. So it's like that's my show. That's what I'm watching. And right now I'm alternating between all of the Arrowverse. So it's kind of trippy because I'll watch like Arrow and then Supergirl, then Arrow, then Flash, then Supergirl 3 times. Because I found this list online of how you have to go through them in this specific order.
Mm-hmm.
I watched 5 Legends of Tomorrow shows in a row, which by the way is great. John Constantine added to that cast is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
But then I go back to another Supergirl, then another Arrow. It's really jumpy, but I am almost through the 7th season of Arrow because of it.
Right now, I'm at episode 12 of both seasons of Flash season 4 and Supergirl season 3.
And what did I say about? Hey, are you really into what's his name? Starts with a D. The villain,
On which show?
Flash.
Well, right now, I just watched the first episode where he's in prison, and the elongated man is kind of um,
Trying to break him
trying.
out.
Well, not. Well, he offers to break him out, but he's trying to. He's just trying to be the
DeVoe.
superhero of the city. So
Yep,
so De-
DeVoe
so
is the
so, De-
guy.
so DeVoe wasn't even in this episode.
Yeah, but DeVoe as a villain by that episode when he faked his death and framed Barry and everything.
Hmm.
DeVoe at that point became one of my favorite villains of all time.
You have lots of favorite villains of all time.
I do. I know. But
Anyway,
DeVoe made that season.
stay tuned to all the other shows here on LP Radio,
No.
and we'll be back with you next Tuesday talking about All Out. That's all we've got. We'll try to do better next time. This is Shane saying long days, pleasant nights, and Jeff saying
Goodbye. Oh my God. No, I'm saying goodbye. I said goodbye like 3 times. Goodbye.
no.